next panel is still just me. And what this is going to be is we're going to attempt to create synthesizer instruments from what, yeah, I know. We're going to attempt to create synthesizer instruments from whatever you brought in here. I think the way we're going to do this is you'll come up here and we're just going to record it directly onto the laptop. I have a microphone right here, and if you'll indulge me, I do have to test this a little bit. This is John with his microphone synthesizer. Okay, so you've played a lot of notes. No, because I wanted to show one technique to start off with. First off, let's make sure this. One thing that I really love working with is granular synthesis. And anyone here played Helldivers at all? Do you know? Okay, so the Illuminants use a lot of granular synthesis in the music. And what I would often do is I would play something kind of like that, multiple notes, and I'll throw it into a synthesizer called Pigments. In the interest of time, I'm going to cheat and load up something I've already done here. But basically, this has a granular engine. Here we go. I want to make sure I'm getting one of my. Sorry, just 1 second. I promise this will be real quick. Nope. All right, I guess I didn't copy it. I'll try this. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this recording and we're just going to put it in here. Granular synthesis basically is the idea of you having, instead of one single playhead, like playing samples start to finish, it has multiple playheads constantly playing it, and then living and dying based on parameters you set. So I'm going to disambiguate the sounds across the speakers. It's a technical term, by the way, disambiguate. And I think in Reaper, if you do Control plus Alt and drag, it actually creates a WAV file that you can put anywhere, so that's going to not work at all. It works in content, but apparently not in Pigments. Trust me, this is going to be worth it. Remember when I said that this panel could be a total and complete disaster? It's going to start here. There. But when you turn up the mod wheel, it gets to that. So now, here it gets a little more exciting as I'm turning up the mod wheel. I want to also have some filtering. So we're going to start the filter down there. Let's use a more interesting filter like this one. Purge. So when I have the mod wheel down low, nice and ambient. But now, you can have it open up the filter as I go on. Let's see. What else can we do? Let's play with some effects. I think that this could really use some like reverbs and delays and stuff. I think we already have some of those in the Synth, so we can do that. Oh, we actually have. So we can turn that up. You can adjust the envelope so it has a longer release tail and shimmer reverb instead. And one thing I also really kind of want to try is some distortion, actually. So I'm going to, how am I going to do this? Maybe I will. Well, I'll just do this. I'll have the drive set really low. Maybe the module can affect the drive, so once again I'll kind of who's next? In the back, uh-oh.
Hello, good to see you. Thank you.
While they're setting up, I'll play the video I was about to play. So, me and my friends got like really drunk at a bar, and we decided let's go to a public park in Seattle where we live at, and let's just hit things with sticks and see what happens. It's a converted gas power plant, and so. Yeah, I mean, Akil, yes. Thank you, Akil. So again, my first instinct is to do something like the granular thing, but I do want to try something a little different. Let me see here. I'm just like playing around with the envelopes close with Reapers. Two different things here. So this, let me try tossing this into Reaper, which should work. God work. Hold on. Believe in yourself. Close these things up. In Reaper, I should be able to just drag and, aha. So now, it's going to so the first thing I'll do is look at the envelope. I'm going to look at the wave and make sure that it's starting at a It's insanely easy to lose stuff in Reapers. So. Let me have it. This sounds whack, but trust me. I had this weird idea of doing something with LFOs, so let's have first let's get a filter to this so that I can control it dynamically. So I'll have lag. Oh, it's so hard to see, but there's this parameter in Contact called lag, which basically delays the response, but it also smooths it out. So that instead of sounding like the 7-bit integer, like very stepped, it can sound more fluid and organic. So I'm going to get half a second lag there. I'm going to add a generous amount of delay so that it just sounds like a wash of tones. And what I want to try is, let's have like a tremolo effect, which is literally just LFO, let's say sine wave, doesn't really matter, to volume. So now, and in fact, maybe instead of just having this be static, oh wait, you can't, oh, this is, instead of it being static, we can have that mod wheel control the frequency. So now, you can control the response, so like, you know, it kind of went a little apeshit like right away, but you can have this sort of did I just delete the patch something? Well, never mind. I'm sorry.
We can make another one some other time.
Yeah. Oh no. Sorry. Oh, who's next? Oh, here.
Actually, my body's I'm not as interesting. I don't have an omnivore. I have.
Great, thank you very much. Remind me your name?
I'm Grace.
Grace, nice to meet you. So this is Grace. What is that?
It's just a bunch of like old antique like silver jewelry. This one's a fork. It is.
So Grace's jewelry. It feels like a cop-out that I keep doing this, but this really does remind me of another thing that I did with the granular engine and pigments. So let's give that a go. Very frequently, what I end up doing is like I'll create a patch, and then I'll substitute out the wave file so that I still have like the stuff that I programmed for it, but it just gives me a quick start. So here, but you know what we forgot to do, but apparently doesn't matter that much, is noise reduction. So let me actually try that right now. Okay, we have a little noise print. And in Reaper, which is this program here, it sort of stealthily has a noise reducer built in. So you just use refurb and click this automatically build noise profile. Wait a little bit, and now this is denoised. In this case, it kind of fucks up the sound a little too much. So hypothetically, that would be really cool and awesome. So, oops. I'm going to move it and then toss it forward. And then toss this into what? For some reason, I thought that was a MIDI file. Let's try it. There we go. Okay, so we're going to toss this in there, and now nothing happens. Let's try this. As you can see, like even with this, already created patch, you can still have something that's like might be useful as like a texture. One thing I want to try, which is a little bit of a long shot, but I think it's going to be kind of cool. Check this out. All right. I have this VST, which I hope to God I actually installed on here. Yes, I did. Oh my gosh. Okay. It's called Nocturnal, and basically what it does is it looks at the full wave file, and it isolates frequencies, but then it also brings out, or resonates, I should say, the overtones of it. So it gets a very natural kind of sound. So I can almost use this as my sampler if I wanted to. I could just play it like. That. Let's just leave this real quick. Not sure, it's kind of hard to hear out here, but I think this is. I'm not hearing any difference whatsoever, and I don't know why. Psych. But anyway, so I've definitely, I don't know why I can't find my patches here, but there was one time I took like a dental drill, and I put it through this granular synthesis. It's very similar to the sound you had, except more disgusting, horrible. And I now have it so that it just gets more like disgusting and into your brain the more I turn up the mod wheel or whatever other articulation. But yeah, thank you very much. Who's next? You got a fast hand going up there.
This is a
You're
plug.
waiting till later. somewhere within here. Great, thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank God we had a single fucking note finally. Doing it live. Some big. Okay, that's some terrible noise, but we can fix that. Oh, okay, that's pretty well. And I may as well high pass filter this right away. Okay. Is all of it good? What was that? Was that
The Game Boy Advance SP.
the best? Okay. I'm going to use this render. I have hotkeys that basically take whatever effects that you have loaded and then just like renders that onto the WAV file. So we should be able to. Get rid of pigments and try something new. I can't believe that this got deleted. Here. Full range. Dig it. Alright, I made kind of a horror move, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it way down. Doesn't that sound like Dark Souls 2? Let's adjust the start point of the wave. I probably should have just edited it better, but you know, things like that. All right, so we have this. Let's give it some generous release. What else do I want to do? Let's be pretty generous with that. This sounds like it would sound really cool with a lot of reverb, so what I'm going to do is... Actually, this is pretty good sounding. Let's have a nice... I wonder if this can loop in an interesting way. What if we... That's what she's And now that we have it looping, we can almost treat it like a pad. So I'm putting on a low pass filter. we're going to make sure that, once again, the mod wheel, which is CC1, is going to open the filter, and I'm going to add that lag so it's nice and smooth. I'll try to make the sound a little bit have more depth to it. So I'm going to add a little bit of saturation. You can also have the module respond to volume, so I'm going to do that. Maybe not fully, but just to have it, when it's down low, it's actually quiet. And to complete the silent amplification, let's do some cool stuff with the pitch. So, couple things I want to try. First off, I want to have it such that every time I press a key, it starts at a slightly different part in the sample so that it kind of gets a little bit more variation. The way we can do that is I have a random unipolar. It's like a modulator. And I can set that to the sample start and just have it a little bit so that if you want to see real carefully, you can see here it starts there. Here it started over there, then it started there, and there. It just gives a little bit more variation so you're not just hearing the same sample over and over. And then I can have randomization to the pitch as well. And it's the same exact thing, but now it's bipolar random. And I'll take it way down. Now it's like 0.12 semitones. You don't need lag on that. Oops. So now it sounds like this. And to get it to sound even more like washy and vibey, I'll actually also add a delay to that. So I'm just going to use this really quick delay. Who's next? Far left? Awesome.
I kind of like to prefer
Just sing along. Okay, so this is in a more traditional sound. It's like a sample.
It's a nightmare.
Very cool, yeah. Just sing a little. So first I'm going to try to edit it in like a reasonable sort of way. Just dig in a little bit. Enhance. I usually follow a rule that's like about 20 50-ish milliseconds from the transient is where I like to cut it. Oh, perfect. Wonderful. All right, let's try the noise reduction. That was like magic. Okay. I think this should be okay to go into sampling. Well, let's see what happens. So I'm going to collapse this and make sure that the noise reduction is burnt into the sample. I have hotkeys for like, hey, take whatever is on the effects rack and then just burn it into the wave file destructively. And then another one for just like doing whatever wave edits I've done to it. I hope that sense made sense. Sorry, it's been a very long day. In fact, I'm sorry, remind me again?
Oh, awesome.
Austin, yes. Okay. So what we're going to do is number this up. Hold on. Pretty sure that was a G. Okay. So now we have this mapped in contact. Okay. So I'm going to do some like traditional sampling things to this. What's the first thing I want to do? The first thing I want to do is to add dynamics to it. So you only played one note. Keep that in mind. I'm going to use EQ. So I'm going to start with and I'm going to figure out where is like the brightness of this instrument, right? So I assume it's somewhere around 3K. Let's try that out. The way this is going to work is I'm going to set it to the lowest level, like this. And then I'm going to use the aforementioned CC mod wheel to gain. So now, when I turn up the mod wheel, it's going to pull up that filter. So check this out. And we can be even more hardcore. We can do the same for volume so that when he's playing quietly, you actually hear it quietly. I pretty much always use this lag feature because otherwise you can kind of hear it stepping, and this makes it way more organic. What is going on? Anyway, so I'm more or less happy with, well, actually, wait, we can do some chicanery, all right. Skip to one thing because I don't think that will affect it. Okay, so this is the sustain. And what I can do is if we copy it, because you had an interesting thing that happened when you stopped playing this. And that's what's called the release. And what we can do is duplicate this, make a big release patch, and now set that to release trigger. So when I let go of a note, when I play the note, it's going to play this group, but when I let go, it's going to play that group, right? And this, oops, select the groups only, so we're selecting this version of the duplicate. And I'm going to set the start point to the end here. So now, when you let go of a note, it sounds organic. You know, in the previous panel here, it was an entire brass section. Was anyone here playing in that brass section? You, get out! Out! I'm never writing for brass ever again, and it's your fault! You! Haha! Anyway. So the idea is that instruments don't just stop. You know, it never just stops. There's something that happens in the release, and so we're capturing that here. Here you have kind of a little pitch thing, which sounds a little weird now, but once you have some like vibe on it, like delays and effects, I think it's going to sound pretty cool.
Yeah, like the Mark Garage with the reverb.
Yeah. So I think that'll do. I'll just have a little bit of attack to this, and maybe we'll disambiguate the volume. Release sample. I think I want to loop the sustain, so we're gonna do that really quick. Got a really cool like vibrato thing going on. Wait, let's go down to the more. Normally when people do sample libraries, they have it like, you know, a pretty constant tone, more or less, but I mean, this is so organic and it sounds so good that I don't want to. Let's just have it in phase more or less. Let's go up to our phase. Just a little. Weird. Okay. Now let's add some more vibe to it. Let's go down here. Get some like usual kind of delays and reverbs. I'll just throw it in. So, right now, if you play like a high note, right? You get like, here, let me turn off the reverb for just a second. You get this crazy sort of thing. What you can do is change it to a different algorithm. So let's try like one of the time machine algorithms and pray to God that it doesn't crash my computer. So now it's going to attempt to play it at the higher pitch, but without speeding up the sample. So let's see what that sounds like. And another kind of cool thing, which, again, fingers crossed that this works, legato. So this is what this is, and I think this is super cool. Check this out. What this is going to do, it's going to look at where you're playing in the sample, right? And it's going to attempt to go to the next note at the same exact time as the previous one. So hypothetically, what should happen, and let me give a little bit of attack time so it doesn't tell you that, but hypothetically what should happen is it should sound like a continuous phrase. So you kind of changed your vibrato style as time went on, and hypothetically it should just continue doing that even though I'm playing different notes. So fingers crossed. Yeah, we got the reverb muted. Let's try this. Let me try a more interesting view of it, maybe a plate view. I mean, I'm getting a little too detailed, but you were the only person nice enough to play one fucking note, so I can actually... A little too subtle, but still kind of cool. Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Oh, really quick, I have a mandolin. I'm giving it away. It was my first cheapo mandolin. It's not a great mandolin, but it's a free mandolin.
Nobody wants this.
You want it? Yeah. See, that's what happened to me. Now I have 3 of them. So. Some wearable mini tech that I've been. This is like the Mark II, and I need like an aux out so I can plug into amps and stuff. But now it's coming from. So this is Synth 1, and what kind of sounds are you playing?
Whatever, I mean, like, I can do, the more simple you sound, the more I can do with it.
I have a very simple beat. It's like that. Where do you want something else?
What else do you have?
There's some.
Something with a lot of harmonics, I think. Something that has some buzz to it. I think that would be cool, yeah. Because that way I can adjust like the filtering and the
Chord or note or.
whatever you want. I mean, if you do, like, the less you do, the more I can do. And I think that would help the audience more if I could sing really good. Oh, remind me again? Campbell. That's what you with. Right. We are. Something that different from what you did. Yeah. Okay. What do you call this?
That's a good question. I call myself a bionic rhapsody.
Synthesizer. Okay. Cool. So, don't worry. It's like that's the cheese. Oh, you know what? It sounds different. I think instead of using the noise reduction, I'll just filter out the noise. attack. Do you see this? Like, it's got this little clip that happened. So I'm going to try to preserve that. Let's go like 12 minutes out here. Yes. I wonder. Let me see something. Because I mean, it sounds all right, but it's a little on the weak side. Let's go nuts. Here was waiting for me to use OTT or something. Yeah. This is okay. So now we'll collapse this. We're not done with it, obviously. Okay, I promise that's last. Okay, cool. This into context is that. So that was a C5. No contact. That's time to C5, which is so, first thing is, we've got this like sharp attack, right? And what I'm thinking is that you might not want that if you're playing quietly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it such that if I play a note hard, it gets that attack, but if you play it quietly, it starts to remove it. There's two ways to do this. The easy way is to go down to the envelope. And you just increase this attack here. And then set its velocity for attack invert. So now, as I wait, is that right? Yeah, as I play quietly, it's not going to take it down that much. As you can see, it's hard to see, but like you can see it's still kind of high there. But if I play hard, let's exaggerate this even more. Now you hear all of that attack. The other thing I'm going to try is, put this in sample mode. I'm going to adjust the start position of the playhead based on how hard I attack. So if you're just like full volume conversation, well, they're not even noticing. It's pretty funny. We could say anything. We could literally say anything and they wouldn't even notice because they're, that is true, yeah. Pizza pie is very popular. There's not a way to, I don't know, Papa John perfected the technology. All right. Let's go velocity to sample start. And I guess I invert it, and then in the sample itself. Just put this up right here. And so now, thank you. Now let's adjust this to be a little bit less hardcore, but still kind of get the gist. So I think this should work. There we go, okay. And let's even more subtle. I don't have to like smack this thing. It's a little bit crazy. Maybe make this a little bit less. me turn this off for now, because there's a technique that, does anyone have like percussion type stuff? You do, okay. I would love for you to be next. In fact, why don't you start coming here and like setting up some stuff? Because there is a, well, where's the dog?
Okay.
There's no escape.
I want to see the rest of this play out.
Yeah. So right now, every time I hit this, it sounds exactly the same, right? Which is like, okay, that's fine, whatever. And I have some modulation to it, which is good. However, we can do a really fancy, silly thing. And this, I draw inspiration from a lot of like techniques that we use in game audio in like years past when we couldn't have like a bunch of variations because we couldn't fit them in RAM. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add a 3-voice EQ, so it's got EQ in 3 different bands. And for each one of these, I'm going to randomize the gain. So let's have external bipolar, so 3 of these. This will be much more useful for the percussion. But I think this is kind of like a perk wording, so this should do something cool. Gain 1, 2, and 3. And so if you look at these little knobs there, they should move, and it should give, hypothetically, some more variation. Let's see what happens. Okay, that's a little crazy. That's way less ratchet. Okay. And now I'm going to have, maybe a filter might be a little bit extreme, but let's see what happens. So now I'm going to have a filter that is responding to velocity as well. Yeah, that was a little extreme, but I can have like an EQ, another EQ that's sort of like what we did with the flute. That's kind of up here. And that is also, wait, what? I want to put a chorus on this, because why not? So let's, thank you by the way. Where's the chorus? Is it? No. That sounds stupid. Okay, I'm gonna make this an organ. Check this out, right? I'm gonna have less release, but then I'm gonna add big old reverb. Let's try convolution. We haven't done that yet. Real rooms, big old. Oh, peak. Cool. Well, thank you very much. Hey, what do we have here?
I've got this desk right here that I can make a neat little noise. Try it out.
Yeah. All right. Let's. Remind me again?
Is that that's left to call me X.
X.
Awesome.
And what is this? Dice?
Yeah, it's just got a little thing inside of it.
Cool.
Like the little resonates.
Can you do there's like a shaker, like like rhythmic, like oh. Okay, yeah, that can work. Is it? I'm trying to use this.
Right, so that actually microphone again.
do is I'm going to try to make this a tempo synced loop. So the first thing I'll do is I'm going to set this to time so it doesn't try to impose any beat matching kind of stuff on it. What I can do in Reaper is tap out the beats, sort of let Reaper guess at what the tempo is. So let's have a new tempo. That was bad again, let's try this. Okay, we're going to add a metronome. This and see what we'll do some classic video game looping tricks. What we do is we'll take like the ending of that and stop it there. Like this, crossfade a little bit, oops, adjust this. Here it was a little quieter, that's not going to follow. Let's try this. So I don't usually work on this laptop, I'm usually on the desktop, so this is killing my eyes. Just kidding. Good, okay. So we're going to collapse that. And I don't think I even needed any kind of denoising, but let's just. Alright. Next, did you have a name? Just dice. What was that? A name for this instrument? Oh, dice holder thing.
We'll call it the dice shaker.
Dice shaker. Render this and drop it into contact. Okay, so now it's in sampler mode, which does not help us at all. Because, you know, if I play low, then it's like really slow. Here, and it's like unpredictable. We probably should have high passed over more, but let me so what we can do, instead of normal sampler mode, we can turn on beat machine, which I think should automatically slice this. Okay. Let's find out. now, no matter what key I play, it's going to perfectly loop. It just changes the timbre. So like I can have like a rich timbre like this, or like that, or multiple. I can change the speed here. Or I can set this to 100, and I can let the DAW choose the speed. So like now we're at, what was it, 103 BPM. But were I to change this to like 81, it should, or not. Is that really not good? Just kidding. I don't know how to do it, I'm sorry. But hypothetically, that should work. Maybe I should have recorded in the previous video, but anyway, now we have this set. We can kind of do some interesting stuff with it. So, first thing I want to try, because I really want to do stuff with the timbre in real time. Because like you're writing, you're writing a song, producing, you really want to make sure that it fits. So. First off, I'll take the release down a little bit. This honestly sounds pretty cool on its own. Yeah, right, yeah. Which is exactly what I'm hoping people do. Is like, you can see these techniques and you can do anything on your own.
That's why I learned.
Yeah. Normally, I would add like a tiny little reverb to stuff like this. Just to like get a sense of the room. I mean, obviously we're in such a reverberant hall here that it's not going to make a lot of sense. But oftentimes I would have like, maybe a wooded room or something, and I would take the wet signal way down. Just to give it a little bit more space and stuff. But yeah, cool. Thank you very much. Who's next? Over here. What's that? Oh, are we done? Is it like now? Or?
What time does the panel end?
I think I'm done.
I think it's 11:30.
11:30. Well, we're over, but I mean, thank you very much for everything, and this is nice of you guys to acknowledge me and experimentation. So cool.